That's it. She's been sold. Well, today's question is, can you drive a Corvette in the snow? I'm going to find out. I drove the car to work today and checked the weather about 7 times because I got an itch to drive it, because who doesn't like that sound? And there was nothing. Of course, I get to work and it snowed all day. So, you know, my windshield is currently thawing, and as you can see, the rear window behind me slowly starting to thaw out. This is going to be fun. Things you shouldn't do with a Corvette. Driving in the snow is like number 1. Well, it's now cleared off enough. I can see, so here's the moment of truth. I don't know if it's going to be able to do it. I still can't see what's behind me. Hopefully there's nothing. Oh boy. I mean, it's rear wheel. How bad could it be? I'm sure bad. Ooh, traction control already. Going slow. So I'll be able to now wash this in the garage. Thank God it fits in there enough so I can. Because this is really stupid. I will say, though, this car, it's not the first time it's ever seen snow. It was originally at a Chevy dealership. For almost a year ago, it was traded in. And I'm sure they had it sitting outside plenty of times. So it's not the first time this car's seen snow. I just don't like it because I really didn't want it to be outside. I mean, at this point, it is what it is. Can't, you know, lose sleep over it and cry. So we're gonna get her back home, and I'll see you when I get it in the garage. Okay, I made it back. She's in, covered in snow still. So I have the hose hooked up to my hot water spigot, and I'm just gonna rinse it off. Big reason is I want to get salt off, and I'm really not gonna worry about washing it. This car, like I said before, was outside at the dealership, so it's not the first time that it's seen snow. And the paint was horrible on it. There's scratches all over it. There's swirls in it. So it's got to get a full paint correction come spring anyways. But I still wouldn't recommend driving it home in the winter. Although it actually did surprisingly well. I was quite impressed with it. It really didn't slip around as much for not being meant to drive in this stuff. So we're just going to get her rinsed off and cleaned up. Okay. It's all clean now. Well, rinsed off. Big thing is I need to get the salt off of it. So, I know I really haven't posted anything in a while. Hunting season, when it happens, is like my number 1 thing. I don't even care about detailing at that point because I just care to hunt. I actually had a tough year. I missed a 4-pointer this year, which this is the 20th anniversary of my grandfather's passing. And when he was alive, all he ever shot was 4-pointers. And I used his rifle the whole season to try and honor him. And of course, 30 years ago was the last buck he ever shot, and it was a 4-pointer. And then I get this one come right out in front of me. I missed. So not happy. Wasn't a good year. But enough of that. It's too depressing for me. Let's get back to this. I know I've had a couple things come out. This is my 1993 Chevy Corvette 40th anniversary. And I know a lot of people go, oh my God, a 93? Why would you go with a 93? Worst thing you could ever do. It's not really the case. I know there's issues with the OptiSparks on these because GM and their infinite wisdom put the OptiSpark underneath the water pump. Water pump fails, destroys the OptiSpark. OptiSpark was this new, latest, greatest design, almost like using a laser, and that's how it fires all the cylinders, instead of the old, trusted cap and rotor that, well, never really gave a problem. This, I've had a couple issues with it here and there where it seems like it wants to stall out, but I don't know if it's just because this car's been sitting for a long time. It was traded in December 22nd of 2022 to a Chevrolet in Ludlow, Chevrolet dealership in Ludlow, Vermont. In April of this year, it was purchased, and guy didn't like it. His wife couldn't get in and out of it. So he traded it back in, and it basically sat at the dealership. He put, I think they told me exactly 200 miles on it, and that's what the Carfax showed, about 200 miles. So this car I purchased for $15,995, which is actually a good price. That's what most of the 40th anniversary packages right now are going for. This isn't the ZR1, so it doesn't have the LT5 in it. It has the LT1, which produced 300 horsepower and about 350 foot-pounds of torque at peak performance. Now this car, as you've seen in one of the videos, well, it's got a custom exhaust in it, and it also has a cold air intake setup in it. And it feels like it might even have a kit in the transmission because it shifts a little bit more noticeable than these would normally do. So I think somebody loved this car a lot when they had it. I think I'm the 8th owner now. But because the way the Carfax kind of goes, I might actually only be like the 6th because the dealerships they were counting is kind of messed up. It's got super low mileage. It's only got 41,940 miles on it, which is low. It's crazy for a car that's 30 years old. So a little bit of history on these cars for people that don't know. In 1993, they produced, now there's different numbers all over the place, but the one I found the most is 21,590 of the Corvettes. And of the Corvettes, only 6,749 received the 40th anniversary package. Now, all of them could be considered 40th anniversary cars because they had them on the headrest and they had some of the badging on the fenders and stuff. But specifically, this color and the ruby red interior that it has was the 40th anniversary package, which was a $1,455 option. So this car, brand new, was about $37,685. I don't know exactly. There's this awesome thing, the Corvette Museum. You can contact them, give them the VIN, and they will reprint out your window stickers, which I'm going to get for this. They can also give you a ton of history on this car when it was new. I know by looking at the VIN, this is the 4,030th car that was produced in 1993. I don't know which number of the 6,749. I don't know which number 40th anniversary it is. I believe it's a low number car, which got me really excited about it when I started looking into it more. Some things, the weather stripping shot, you're not going to find a C4 that doesn't have weather stripping that's dried right out. So in the spring, there'll be a video of me redoing all the weather stripping on it. I haven't even taken the target top off yet because I don't even dare, because I'm pretty sure it won't seal anymore. And the ruby red hubcaps, the center caps on the rims, they're starting to kind of fade. So I'm going to have to probably see if I can get some new ones. I'm hoping that maybe the Corvette Museum can hook me up and help me out with that. I was actually, when I was looking for a Corvette, I wanted a 96, the collector's edition. I don't know. I kind of always liked the way those silver ones looked with the badging stuff on them. But then I saw this one, and it was just such an awesome deal that I couldn't pass it up. I mean, it's a gorgeous car. It's running better and better the more that I'm driving it. But I have only driven it maybe like 300 miles since I bought it. I haven't driven it a ton, and I would give the paint on the outside like out of 10, a 6. The interior is like a 7 because the driver's seat's got a little bit of wear on the leather. But overall, it's a gorgeous car. You get up close, there's some scratches that I got to do some paint correction on in the spring, but overall, it's a gorgeous car. Wicked head turner. When I talk about the performance stuff, the exhaust, not only did they put it's a Corsa exhaust system, not only did they put that on stainless steel, but it's also got a catalytic converter delete in it. And I don't know anybody that me or any of my buddies know that have a dyno. I'm pretty sure this car is pushing more than 300 horsepower. It feels like it's pushing more than 300 horsepower. My mother-in-law has a 2000 C5, and those cars were rated at 350. This car feels like it goes way more than that one does. When I push it, it's noticeable. So I'm thinking it's probably north of the 350 horsepower. But I don't know if you can see this. Some of the, you probably can't. Right around this one seal on the door, the one on the back window, the rear hatch for the glass, always dry out. They're leaking down in. I mean, this garage is kind of tough for me to really wash anything, but I can make it work. This fits in here enough, so you guys are going to have to stay tuned. There's going to be more on this in the spring. I'm going to get it up, get the wheels off, do a full cleaning of that. I'm going to really get a good cleaning under the hood. Big thing, like I said, with the OptiSpark, you do not pressure wash underneath the hood on these engines. Yeah, you can destroy that OptiSpark, and then you are in trouble. So you got to be careful with that. I've already cleaned it off once. There's stuff all over on the hood. I kind of detailed it quick when I first got it, but I didn't like go right to town and paint correct it. Somebody, I mean, like I said, when they loved it, they put Paint Protect Vinyl, PPV, right across the hood, just above the headlights. So there's no rock chips or anything on it. There's a couple scuff marks I've noticed on like the front bumper and over by the driver's door. Looks like the key got it. And I'm having an issue with the passive keyless entry. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I believe it's the key fob, which, I mean, the key fob's 30 years old. I can't blame it. The plastic's broke on it, so I got it taped together right now. But, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I mean, for more numbers, if you guys are curious, the ZR1, which had the LT5, way more horsepower. They were all manual. They only did 245 of this 40th anniversary package in the ZR1s. You find one of them, that's a pretty rare car. Very rare, and they're going to be expensive. I couldn't find one. This is the closest thing I could find. And everybody's like, oh, you bought an automatic. Well, for my price range and what I wanted to buy, that's kind of what I had to do. I know you guys saw at the beginning, the Suburban is gone. Guy I work with, he actually bought it. His kids have probably put 1,000 views on all of my episodes before because they were excited to see it. So they're now driving it. They're using it. Extremely happy. He couldn't believe it because he had the '03 Suburban that I was going to potentially steal parts off of. And he just junked it. And he's like, oh, my God, this thing is like a new vehicle compared to that other one because it was just so rotted out bad. But that'll be a good truck for him. I got a couple things that I still got to finish on it that he's going to bring back in the spring, and I'm going to help him do the auxiliary cooler. The brakes need to be bled out a little bit more. I think there's something else I can't remember. Oh, the injectors. I think I might have to actually take the injectors all out, clean it for him. But he's happy with it. So that kind of led to this. And I really wanted one of these Corvettes. My mother-in-law, we bought one last year. I think it was out in Herkimer, New York, which is southwest, I think, from where we are, if I remember. Drove total like 4 hours in the day, 2 hours down to get it, 2 hours back, and I got the itch. I'm not a huge C5 fan. I know a lot of people are. If I had the choice, I like the C4s. I just love the sleek looks of them. They get a wicked knock because not a lot of people like them, but I love the cars. I think they're great. I love the body lines. I think the biggest thing that I like on it is when you open that hood, everything's exposed. And it's a gorgeous car. It's time capsule, really. I mean, when I was a kid, this is all you ever saw was these C4s driving around. And very few C5s, but, I mean, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful car. I'm not crazy on the rims. If I could have my choice, I'd stick with the car, but I would put C5 rims on it, like a 2000 to 2001 Corvette's rims. Love them. I think when they get those on there, those 5-spoke rims, oh my God, they're gorgeous, especially if the car was black. I mean, I love the ruby red, but if the car was black, oh, I would definitely be changing it. But there's probably nothing I'm going to change on this car from what it is. I'm going to leave the performance the way it is. I'm not going to really return that back to stock, but as far as the look of it, I'm going to keep it as stock as I can because it's just only going to help the value of it as the car ages in time. So stick around, like I said. There's going to be more. I'm going to do the best I can. It's hard right now because we're now starting to get snow. So stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next one.